Welcome to Wesley's Nursery. We just want to take you through, show you this space, and explain how I designed this space to promote sleep and creativity. And hopefully you guys like it as much as he does. When I began designing this space, I knew I wanted to create a very dark and cozy environment because my baby was coming from the womb, which is very dark and cozy. So I thought, okay, I need to do a dark paint color. And then I thought, okay, what is timeless? I wanted to create a timeless room that would grow with my child. And I thought, nature. Nature is timeless because it never goes out of style. So I ended up with a dark green wall paint. And this wall paint that we landed on is dark sage from PPG, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So then I was doing a lot of reading, I think as every first-time mom does, and I read that babies' eyes, the first thing they see is really high contrast, really dark, dark, really light, light. So I thought, okay, I'm going to incorporate a lot of contrast throughout the room. So as you can see behind me, I picked a really light rocking chair, light color, so that it would have, really high contrast and stand out against that background color. And I would say this is the #1 nursery don't. I see a lot of mamas and daddies buy gigantic rockers that almost can't even fit in the corner of their room because they're so big. It's like a floating island in the middle of the room. So what I did was I drew up this entire room in AutoCAD, and I made sure that I got a sized chair that was proportionate to the room, so it's not overly big. And one thing that you have to remember to calculate for is if you have a swivel or a glider, you have to accommodate for that moving. And see, I just hit the wall. That will happen. This actually did come with a matching ottoman, but I wanted to add different textural elements throughout the space, so I thought, what better element to add than leather? So I found this leather ottoman just to bring in some warmth into this space. Rather than having two perfectly matched pieces, I think it is totally fine if you have complementary pieces. So I think the stitching plays well off the fabric, and I think the leather adds a nice element. I said I also wanted the space to promote creativity. So I did that in a couple ways, mainly through really interesting shapes and abstract art. So this piece is wonderful. It incorporates mirror, brass, and this nice fringed tassel, which is so fun because number one, it contrasts against the wall, but I introduce a metal and I introduce mirror. Now mirror is a key element. If you have any small room, you can make it feel much larger by adding a mirror. It reflects light, it reflects images, and also it's just fun for the baby to look at. And I think a key thing is over your changing table, you want some interesting art because your baby's gonna be here a lot, changing diapers, changing outfits, and you want them to have something interesting to look at while they're here. Then rather than doing a table lamp, because again, we're designing for the scale of the space, did not have room to do a table lamp, so I did a floor lamp. Rather than picking just a straight lamp, I picked something with a curvilinear form that was really interesting. We didn't know this at birth, but after a while, we found out Wesley loved pictures. He loves to stare at people, faces, he'll smile at them. So we actually added this after he was born, once we realized he loved photos. So we compiled a bunch of different photos of him and an eclectic array of frames because again, having different colors, different textures, different finishes, and even some that are reflective, some that are matte, that's really interesting to a baby's eye. It kind of keeps them looking around, it keeps them interested, and for adults, it's also important to keep your eye moving throughout the space, and different textures and finishes can do that. And I would say don't be afraid to use mismatched items, just make sure that at the end of the day, they're complementary to each other. Now, another thing that you have to do to promote sleep, besides I think creating a dark room color, you can also create dark room visually. And I did that by buying these draperies that have blackout panels on the back. So what is a blackout panel? A blackout panel is a separate sheet of material on the back of your drapery that does not let light through. So it does not change the front color, but it does kind of change the color if you're looking at it from the outside of the house, and it does not allow sunlight to come in. So when my son gets ready for a nap, I just draw these shades. It's really dark and that helps him sleep. This is actually called a martini table, but I just needed a little something in the middle of the night to set his bottle on. So I call this our bottle table. And it's literally big enough for me to set a bottle on, very functional, easy to move around, and it really does the job. And you'll see that what we're on is the area rug. Now, rule number 1 about area rugs is you typically want the front legs of your furniture to at least be on the area rug itself. So you can see the first 2 legs of the crib is on the area rug, and then kind of the first half of the glider swivel chair is also on the area rug, which just helps kind of anchor the space. And I didn't want anything too crazy, so I just picked a really timeless stripe for the pattern on that rug, and I think it works really well with everything we have going on. So continuing with art and sculpture, I didn't want to do just a regular mobile. I wanted to do something really interesting, and I wanted to play up nature again. So I found this lovely brass mobile and its stars. Actually, when I bought it, they showed it hanging above the crib, but when it arrived, they said, oh, this is not allowed. There was like literally a tag on it that says this is not allowed to hang above cribs. So we have it in the corner, but it's okay because Wesley still loves it and he likes to look at it, and when the air turns on from the vents, it starts kind of moving slightly, and it's just a really cute sculptural element that he loves to stare at, and I really do believe that it kind of promotes creativity. This is a very traditional art form. You know, I showed you mirror fringe, I showed you sculptural mobile. This is a very special piece of art to me because I actually had a friend, Nicolette Wagner, who took a picture of the Nebraska sandhills, and then I have another friend, Rachel Belkey, who painted that picture. So this is an original piece that 2 of my friends made for me, and it's of the Nebraska sandhills, and I thought how beautiful to incorporate that into our son's room. I knew I wanted a very specific wood grain for the crib, and this is a very nice mid-tone wood. It's not too dark, it's not too light, it's just warm, and I thought if we do reuse this down the road, if we have another baby, I could see this stain going with tons of different styles. So we just went with a very simple crib. This is from the Novogratz. It is a 3-in-1 crib, so as Wesley grows, we can convert it, and it, you know, can be a toddler bed and a little boy bed too. So it's nice to get things that are adaptable. You'll see here we have this wonderful array of teddy bears, and they are new and old. This one is actually the teddy bear that I grew up with. This one is a teddy bear that my husband's grandma gave our son, and then we have these newer teddy bears that came from friends in all of our virtual baby showers, and I think it's just so fun and sentimental to incorporate pieces that are new and old and multi-generational, because I think at the end of the day that adds a lot of personality and just cozy charm to your nursery too. All in all, I did what I could to create a nursery that promotes sleep and creativity. If you have any questions about anything in the nursery, please drop them in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you. And we would love to be creating more videos for you in the future, so please like and subscribe so we can continue to do that for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.